Smoshins, why are you looking at this? Safety water! By Disney. Sponsor? I don't even know what I'm doing. Intro of plagiarism. That was so shitty. Okay, I don't know. I've had that song stuck in my head. Safety water, put it on the fire. Maybe make a bubble bath. You know what? You know what's funny about this bottle of safety water? The guy that I used to date, Sky, bought me this at the movie theaters. Because it was like right after I had my kidney stone and I had to drink a bunch of water. Cool story. Okay, I need to stop talking about nothing. I already checked the time, wow. Okay, so I went to class yesterday, and I actually just got back from class. Okay, so I was in my math class last night, and it was really funny. I posted this on Facebook, but a lot of you aren't on my Facebook friends, but whatever. Okay, so I was sitting in the middle of the classroom. It's a really big classroom, and there are a lot of people in it. So I was sitting in the middle, in this middle desk, pretty much directly in the middle. There were two cute guys. Two cute guys. One sat on my right, and one sat on my left, like directly, like diagonal. The one on my left was like around 18, 19-ish, maybe 20 at the most. You know, you could tell he was young. And then the one on my right, he looked about 25, 26, maybe 27 at the most. And, like, I just couldn't stop looking at him, man. He was really cute. He's that guy he looks like Charles Trippy and David Cook. He has his ear pierced. I only saw, like, half of his face, because he was, like, sitting right here, and I only saw... But I thought he was pretty cute. But I was just, like... I found out hilarious, because this guy is my age, like, maybe even a little, like, a year younger or something, and this guy is, like, 5, 6, 7 years old, 7 years older than me, and I'm just like, eh. I mean, it makes sense. I've been, swooning over Ian and Anthony, who are 24, Toby, who's almost 27, oh my god, Tim Tebow, who's, like, 24, I think, Day 9 is, like, 26, like, all these guys are, like, between the ages of 24 and 27, and so I'm just, like, naturally drawn to, that age now. Nah. And I'm like, hey, hi, I'm 19. Ha, me, 19-year-old, I'm still a teenager. It's embarrassing. And you're like, oh yeah, I'm 19. I mean, even 20 is better. I have talked about this before, but it's like, even when you're like 20, it's like, okay, I am, 20. Like, I'm in my young 20s, and that's attractive. When you're 19, it has teen in it, and you're like, I'm not a fucking teen anymore. It should be like 9 adult. Anyway, so, in other news, this morning, I had a dream about Tim Tebow, and it was just like, it was so good. And I'm gonna try to explain it in like 2 minutes. Okay, so I was at like this. Okay, so it was at my house, but my house is like a lot bigger. And we were having like this. Maybe it was a football party or something, or I don't know. But there were a lot of people, a lot of friends at our house, and one of my like best friends or something. I don't know. I didn't know any of these people except for my mom, I think. But anyway, one of my best friends was there, and they like loved Tebow. And so another one of my friends or family friends or whatever like came in, and they had brought Tebow as a surprise. So he was like dressed in his jersey and like his pants and stuff. I don't know why he was dressed up, but no pads or anything like that, or helmet or anything, but yeah, and he was like there and like in my couch, and he was just like standing right there, and I was just like, oh my god, like that's Tim Tebow, like what the fuck? And so then he goes up to my friend who was, that's who he was there for, and he's like teaching them like, oh, high five, do this, funny handshake thing, because he's, cute like that. And so I'm just watching him, and then he like turns and looks at me, and I'm just like, and so then he gives me a high five, and he's trying to do the same thing as he did to my friend with a handshake thingy. I couldn't do it because I was just like so freaked out, like, oh my god, this is Tim Tebow, like, and so yeah, and then okay, so after that, I he went and changed back out, and I don't know why it took him so long, but like everybody left, and he was like still there, and he was like reading this fanfic that one of my friends wrote, or it's just someone online wrote, and he was like reading out loud, and he was just like kind of weirded out. He was like kind of, weirded out, like, oh, this is interesting. I've never had this happen before. And so I'm just like laughing and like teasing him and stuff. And so finally, after he's done, he sits down next to me. For some reason, we were sitting on the floor next to the door. I have no idea why, but sometimes I cry, and then I do a little lie, and it turns into a big surprise, and that wasn't that bad. Anyway, so then we're talking, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a writer. I write fanfics sometimes, or I used to when I was a teenager. I guess this was in the future, maybe. When I was in high school, I don't know. And he's like, oh, when I was in high school, I used to ditch class and go, and then I interrupted him. I'm like, and go like running, like, because he's a football player. And he's like, actually, yeah. So stupid. I'm like, oh. And so we're laughing, and he's like, just being so sweet and cute, and fine. And then somebody like pounds on the door, and I open it, and I'm like, it's like this group of church people. I think they were from my church, but he also knew them. I think it might have been his mom, and she's like, you called me blah blah blah, and I don't want him over here anymore, so let's go, Tim. And he like, he gets up and like scoots back, and like he's not supposed to be talking to me, and he's like, oh my gosh, and I'm like, oh my god, no, just stay, I'm sorry. And he like has to leave, and it's so disappointing. And then, real quick, sorry, oh my god, this is going on for too long. Okay, let me just finish. Okay, so, and then I was like going to this like dinner thing, and oh shit, there's another part. So weird. Okay, I'm trying to go as fast as I can. Okay, so then he has like this weird farm thing. I don't know why, but it's like this huge barn, and he's like helping with like the baby farm animals, and it's like this huge like donation thing, and it was so weird. Anyway, so then we go to like this, it's like this dinner thing, and it's the same group of people that came to my door, and it's like this huge table, and I'm just like, oh my god. And I'm like, this is so awkward. I'm there alone, don't really know anybody there. And the main host, that crazy lady, and she was just like, meh, meh, meh. And then so I see like this at the head of the table, like Tebow's stuff is there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's gonna sit there. So I go and I try to find a seat like closest to him. So it was like the head of the table, and then someone, and then me, and I like sat down, and I was like, okay, I'll just sit here. And he wasn't there yet. And then I woke up. I'm like, fuck. So, that's my dreams. Okay, so I'm gonna make, a question, I'm gonna record the questions, still ask, that's great, hashtag it, Leenbuscus, my Twitter, Alina_Renee, and, yeah, I will record that, and hopefully get that up by Saturday or Sunday, so, sweet. Okay, bless your face, if you didn't sneeze during this video, bless you anyway. Peace on. Catch you on the flip side, and subscribe, and my other channel also, what's it called? Let's talk about suits. It's a really good video, one of my best. Okay. Bitch.